Today we are going to check out a pretty interesting studio space in Nashville, Tennessee. The studio is in this quite odd building, essentially downtown Nashville. It's being ran by my friend Asher Condit, producer, engineer, musician, writer. And he got it, I don't know, maybe a year ago, 6 months ago, and it was originally set up by Spotify. And then my friend Asher took it over, which is pretty freaking cool for Asher. It was a good find, big upgrade for him. He was in a garage conversion before. Now it's got a whole kitchen, live room, B room, the whole thing. It's pretty rad. Asher, the producer, you may have seen him on TikTok, Instagram, things like that, has had a ton of success since he moved here. He moved here 4 or so years ago is when I originally met him. And since moving here, he's had a lot of success. He's basically just kept his head down, working with a bunch of artists. He's had the artists sign deals. He's had some of the songs that he's produced with them do really well. He signed a pub deal, and then he got this new space recently. And I wanted to go down and just get in a good hang with Asher. I'm gonna put some links to him and his music that he's produced down in the description. You should go check it out. Some housekeeping things. I made some merch if you are interested in some silly mug and t-shirt stuff to have around the studio. They all have these little meme sayings on them, so you can hand them out to musicians or to producers and engineers when they come out. It's just fun to have something nice like that you can give people when everyone shows up and is getting drinks and things like that. So I'll link the merch store down in the description. As always, these videos are sponsored by Sweetwater. So as we're rolling through Asher's studio, if you see anything you want to check out, head on over to Sweetwater. I'll put an affiliate link down in the description. You can get some of the best deals on either physical hardware, all the stuff that I use in my studio. I have a master list of all of it that I keep right at the top, says all of my gear. There's actually a lot of deals on most of the stuff that I use. I'm constantly doing these consults with people where I'm recommending stuff that I think is great for the studio, and some of the things like the Barefoot studio monitors, I've been seeing some pretty sweet deals on those. I've been seeing some sweet deals on plugins on there. You just never know. You gotta kind of be a little bit of a sleuth. So as you're watching the video, if you wanna hop on over to Sweetwater, check out some stuff, there's a link down in the description. Thank you, Sweetwater, for sponsoring this video. Hit the like button, subscribe button, and let's go check out Asher's studio.
Yeah, so this is a building from the 90s. It's been here for a bit, and I think initially it was actually some apartments at some point in time. There's an auto body shop that's connected on one side of the building. And then Spotify showed up in the mid 2015 timeframe, and they ended up building a recording studio here. We got Studio A, we got a Studio B, then we got a property above, which I think is going to be converted into a Studio 2, which we can chat some more about.
Oh wow!
Just teasing you on that, but
cool.
Yeah, so we got a little space here. We've got a kitchen. This direction.
Oh, nice.
Pretty simple.
Big size kitchen for a studio.
Totally.
Like
got the big canister of Berkey water out in the corner there.
Oh, yes, dude.
Got to make sure you get filtered water. Not that I don't trust Nashville water, but some people don't trust Nashville water, so I make sure it's clean. I think there's a hack, though, somewhere in that, like where a vocalist in the vocal booth, it's like one less thing for them to think about when they have like nice clear water that they can taste the difference, and you can taste the difference for this. I should get a Berkey affiliate link for doing this, but either way, I'm a big fan. I got one in my apartment, got one here in the studio, but
nice.
Yeah, pretty simple kitchen. Yeah, pretty large though. Very thankful that we got some space for hanging out, eating outside of the studio and stuff like that.
That's awesome. Are those eggs in the...
Yeah, those are my hard-boiled eggs that I
oh my God.
was gonna eat for breakfast.
Genius.
And I didn't eat for breakfast. Bro, it's a hack too. This is the most bachelor thing I'm gonna say all day, but an electric kettle is exactly what you need for hard-boiling eggs. It shuts off the water when it's boiling, and that's kind of the MO to create your hard-boiled eggs, or to get the
I love that.
hard-boiled eggs hard-boiled. So this is the control room.
This is awesome. So last time we did a tour, it was in a converted garage.
That's right. That's right.
Not a dissimilar amount of space, but now you have way more rooms.
Right. Totally. Totally. Double door isolation between the rooms. Lots of space here. No parallel walls. Spotify did build the rooms themselves. So the fact that these are kind of a little bit slanted, the treatment on the space, I didn't actually do that. So got to inherit a studio, and it's I don't know if I told you this, but it's 6 blocks from my apartment. So
that's
I get to
great.
walk every day that it's not over 100 degrees outside to come on into this control room. Yeah, so it was kind of a timing thing. I was looking to upgrade the studio out of the 2-car garage, and I was just looking at some commercial properties, browsing like rental.com and stuff like that. Honestly, I was like even possibly looking into renting like bigger garage spaces, doing kind of the whole conversion and customizing the space myself. Saw this come on the market, and it was like almost a no-brainer in a like universal alignment kind of way. I don't know if I'm a huge guy that thinks in those terms, but a studio at the right time comes onto the market 6 blocks from my house, and it's already basically built for you.
Outfitted, yeah.
Like I just kind of shot from the hip there and ran into this space. So I'm a music producer. So I work mostly with independent artists, but in the last couple of years, I've had a handful of them sign label deals, and I've been kind of sticking and running with them, creating some awesome material that's getting listened to, and like that's the stuff that I'm super, super thankful for.
Yep.
Being with hustlers, right? The folks that are on the content grind, the folks that are writing all the time, the folks that want to get in the studio and have a vision for themselves, all that kind of stuff. So I work kind of one-on-one with artists most of the time, where they bring their little iPhone demo of the song into the shop, and then we kind of strategize how we want to bloom it based on some references, and then based on the skill sets that I have and, you know, instrumentalists adjacent to me also have. But most of the time I'm performing everything, or, you know, the artist is performing. So I play guitar, bass, drums, keys, I play reeds, brass, I program, I do kind of the engineering and recording aspect of things too. And yeah, so it's kind of a one-stop shop, soup to nuts.
Yeah, doing a lot of work.
Yeah, I'm staying busy. But like y'all know, like it's good to be busy in the music industry, right? Like you're never more than, you know, several months away from the whole thing ending in some kind of apocalyptic way. But like, yeah, I'm always thankful to be busy, living with gratitude on the reg. Got a little station here. Most of the piano work I'm doing is MIDI in, so the Nords are just excellent because they've got the hammer action kind of feel to it. So whenever you're kind of looking for an authentic piano response, that's the way I'm doing it. But I've also got a piano in the live room, which we'll take a look at in a second. I've got some stories about that.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, kind of got a keys station here. I do a lot of like the guitar work that I'm doing now. If I'm not going DI, which I kind of do maybe 20% of the time, but getting the guitarist in the control room with their pedal board, sending some tie lines into the room, saddling up an amp switch and 2 or 3 amps, and then kind of like controlling it that way, being in the room while you're recording the guitars is actually very effective and helpful for the instrumentalist to be able to dial in what they want and all that kind of stuff. Because you're hearing it coming out of decent speakers in the exact framework that you're going to end up hearing it on the recording anyway. So yeah, you'll see we've got some vocal booths. Obviously we're doing vocal recording there, and yeah, this is kind of the hang space. So running Mac Studio, and I'm all kind of universal audio in, so you can see I've got console kind of queued up here, got the 8P with the twin. It's pretty much all the channels I end up needing, unless I want to go maximalist on drums, and then I just borrow a couple quads and then run whatever we want.
Nice.
Literally just got a headphone amp now, so I can finally like have vocalists make their own mixes in their headphones and stuff like that. So that's been kind of an extra thing I sweep off my plate when I'm like setting up sessions and doing all that kind of work. But yeah, so Mac Studio into the Apollos, through console, hit it with whatever kinds of effects you're looking for, whether you want to build a Neve board, SSL board, API board. I kind of try to think in those terms when I'm doing records. And then yeah, it's all kind of in the box Logic stuff. I haven't kept any tabs on are people mainly using Pro Tools these days? Are people mainly using Logic these days? I don't know. I'm in Logic. It's great for me. It doesn't have anything that I want it to do that I can't do. So
it's great.
I'm cool with it.
I love the vibe in here. The colors, you got some nice furniture.
Yeah, this must be the place, right?
Studio furniture is just like very important to the comfort of the client.
Totally.
To the users.
Totally.
And also something that just sucks to buy.
And like, I'm not a huge visual design guy, like no doubt. So like I take a lot of cues from just like seeing other studios and what they're doing and what it looks like and all that kind of stuff. So I borrow a lot of my creativity in that space, no doubt. Got the mushroom garden that I'm growing over here too. So It's getting bigger and bigger each time. Like, I have artists now that will just like literally find mushroom things and just buy them for me and stick them in the little garden. This little small guy's the best. He's my favorite.
Oh my God. That's hilarious.
Yeah, then we got some guitars and banjotar, basses, baritones, rubber bridges, all that kind of stuff to give as many options. And honestly, my philosophy on guitars, and I'm sure you might have some more opinions than I do, but I just want diversity. I want things to just be able to give me different sounds. So I'm not in it for a specific kind of a guitar. I just want, if I accumulate guitars, I just want them to be different from the things that I have. And that's kind of my philosophy. So I can be like, oh, this one does this thing. It's going on this record because it's doing this thing, right?
Let's check out the live room.
Sweet.
Follow you.
Follow me.
Huge line of sight through here, which is awesome.
Yeah. Very valuable, like communicating, obviously talk back and all that kind of stuff, but having the visual cues, sliding the drum set into the middle of the room when you're capturing drums and just like being able to cue signals and all that kind of stuff has been really lovely.
Wow. Well, that's right. You had this before, right?
Yes. So I must have just gotten it last time you did a studio tour, but I would love to talk about this piano because I could talk about this piano for days. But this is my grandfather's piano. He got it in the 50s, and it's a piano built in Baltimore in 1912. I think we looked up the serial number and it was 1912. It's got some like carved art in the back of it too, which is original.
Oh, that's so cool.
But the cool feature of this piano is that it's an A432 piano. And for those who don't know,
true frequency.
A440 versus A32, A420, A445, all that kind of stuff. It's just different frequencies that you can tune the entire instrument to. And for pianos, when you build it to the frequency. So you don't tune a piano that's A432 to A440. You don't do that because you're going to risk either cracking the brass or breaking the strings. So this predates the A440 standard, which was kind of crystallized in the 1930s. And if we want to do a rabbit hole on that,
let's do that. Actually, the comment section should let us know in the comments if you know the rabbit hole on the 432 thing, and we will look for advice down there.
Yeah, so there's some stories there to find for sure. But it's great. But the thing about it being in A432 is that you kind of have to start the song in A432 in order to use this piano. So like I'm halfway down the road of producing a track, and then all of a sudden I'm like, damn, it would be a great idea to have this kind of bright, plucky piano on it because the felt is kind of compressed. It's very bright. Like, it's just like a very, very bright sound, but it's because the felt is all compressed and like kind of acts as a hammer more than kind of a soft mallet on it. But yeah, you can't kind of pick up in the middle of the process unless you're already tuning the song to A432, which is totally possible, but you just have to think ahead to be able to make that happen. I didn't do anything to the treatment of the space. So yeah, all these guys were kind of saddled in when I moved in. And that's the kind of universal alignment part of the equation. It's just like, this feels like it was like the universe was like, yo, trying to level up?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I could have been like, it's going to be too much money to rent, or like, I'm not quite ready for something like this. But yeah, shot from the hip and we're making ends meet.
Took on the challenge.
You know.
So did you already have this CNC kit? CNC?
I think
amazing drum
so. I think so.
builder.
But yeah, it's workhorse kit. It's a kind of bigger, bolder indie rock kit.
Yeah.
Love the sound. Most of the time I'm doing the kick without the front panel. But using these drum tortillas a lot. I don't know if that's something you're familiar with.
Oh, yeah.
But love playing around with those guys and just getting like, obviously like folding them into different shapes and stuff like that is all kinds of different sounds. And it's just easier to do that than to find the right placement for tape or for a wallet. There's like, do what you want to do. There are no rules here, but I like the drum tortillas. Been using them a ton.
Got some sweet Byzance cymbals.
Big boys. So yeah, I normally do kick, snare, rack, floor, overheads that are like not even pointed at cymbals. Like I'm, at least from my process, I don't know anybody else that does this, but like I'll keep the overheads like here pointed almost behind the kit a lot. Just maybe it's my cymbals are just enormous. Yeah. And like whenever I have it too far raised, it's nearly unmanageable. And then I've got a ribbon mic that I like to kind of set as a room. And then the vocal booth always got the mic hooked up in there, and I use that as kind of another little chamber kind of thing. And that's normally my setup. So
that's killer.
Yeah. Reasonably simple, but you can get good sounds from it.
10 inputs then.
Yep. Cool. Then I've got I think this is the DW Jazz snare. I've got a Black Beauty, and I've got a Gretsch, like aluminum with wood hoop. A couple options for snare drums and stuff like that. But
that's awesome. And you are like a drummer.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. So I play drums. Yeah, I honestly, the kind of the way it goes in my shop is I perform whatever the artist doesn't want to perform or doesn't want to outsource to another performer. I'll just fill in the gaps with all the creativity that I can summon.
You've been doing this since before you moved to Nashville. Where were you before, in Boston? Is that right?
I was in Connecticut, so right on the Massachusetts Connecticut border. I had a studio there 2017 to 2021, and then, pandemic kind of reprioritized us for good or for bad in another direction. And one of the big hacks for me was, do I even need to be in New England anymore? Like, should I be thinking about something else? Should I be thinking about somewhere else? New York, LA, Nashville were kind of the obvious choices. And at the time when I was looking at like apartments and rentals and stuff like that, I was comparing Brooklyn to North Hollywood to Nashville or whatever. And Nashville was like, half the price to take the risk. And it made more sense to save on expenses when I'm taking a risk to go to a new city to do what I want to do. So Nashville ended up being the destination largely because of that. Yeah, great question. I was doing a lot more pop stuff when I was up in New England. So I was certainly programming not all of my drums, a lot of my drums. Was doing a lot more kind of interesting synth work. And then moving to Nashville, I think I told myself I wasn't going to do country music, and I think that's maybe what everybody says. And I've largely stuck to that. But I found myself in the like folk pop space. So like the tangential, like your Noah Kahan, Casey Musgraves, like the artists that are kind of traditionally could have been branded singer-songwriter, but then they pigeonholed themselves into this kind of like teased out a little folk space of their own. And I think that's authentic to a lot of people like across the country, because for me, at least growing up in the North, like I grew up and knew a lot of people, including my father, who played guitar, but they weren't like, Southern country chicken picking kind of things, but it's like I grew up around acoustic guitar playing folks that were singing good songs. And I think there's like a broader, genre that's not just country, that's a little bit bigger than that includes this folk space. And I found an authentic lane in that, and that's been fun to produce and hang with folks that are writing good songs there. Want to look at the vocal booth?
Yeah,
just take a little peek.
Remember before you had like a curtain.
Pretty much.
Manly.
Yeah, exactly. I still got the Manly, and the Manly's still a workhorse for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Got the isolated space here. Still got the through line to the control room so that I can give kind of conducting cues if they need it and stuff like that.
This is so nice.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a lounge.
Yeah, this is comfortable. Vocalist needs to be comfortable.
Totally. Got a little, I don't know what this design is, but it kind of reminds me of Star Wars, even though I know nothing about Star Wars. So. And ring lights are a hack, dude. Like artists being on their phones for lyrics and stuff like that. Like just getting a ring light, you don't put the light on or anything, but just like having it like literally right here. Like, you don't need a music stand for it anymore. Just get a ring light.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
This is sweet. It's pretty big too. You could definitely put a kid in here.
Totally. And it's storage now. I'm kind of using the other one. It's not very interesting to look in there, but eventually my goal for this space is to turn it into like an aux percussion room.
Oh, cool.
And like have it completely mic'd up. And I have shakers and tambourines and wind chimes and hand drums, so that like at the end of the process, like you've recorded drums, guitars, bass, keys, all that kind of stuff. You just take a trip into this room, you run 3 passes through with like shaker ideas, tambourine hits, like all that kind of stuff, and just get like the next level stuff. And I have been using that concept a lot in my recording. So like making sure that aux percussion is human. So it's not just, not trying to shit on anybody who's doing shaker samples and stuff like that, because I still do that sometimes, whatever. But like a human aux percussion track is a hack.
Yeah.
And I have a tiny little mic collection, so, and I don't even think we need to go through them just because they're so few
tiny
of
but
them.
mighty.
Yeah,
Some
honestly,
good one. Telefunken.
these my ears,
Neumann,
bro. Yeah.
57s, Sennheiser 441, RE20. These are all really good mics.
Yeah. Yeah.
And these are the Telefunken pencils, right?
Yeah, they're the M60s, yeah.
What the hell happened to this Music Man?
Yeah, let's talk about it, son. Let's talk about it. So,
the dog?
Just for no. So for just to caveat this first, this is not my amp. So a guy named Corey Wheeler, one of my artists, it's his amp, and he just kind of leaves it here because he doesn't have a use for it in his apartment at the moment. But it's a Music Man from, it's either 1971 or 72, which is just around the time when Leo Fender left Fender to start Music Man, or to work at, do the Music Man gig, right?
Okay.
And it's honestly a fantastic sounding amp. Like, it sounds very good. And there's a couple quirks of this. One, the speaker is not even attached back there, which doesn't affect the sound too much. But the intensity knob, like, you guys are familiar with the kind of like tremolo stuff that comes out of, you know, ordinary intensity knobs, and something is screwed up in the like wiring or the logistics of however this amp is currently working, that this is now like this weird phaser flanger kind of sound that, like, I don't even know how to quite describe it, but it's like detuny, phasey, weird, like kind of has a little bit of the tremolo still in it, but it's just kind of just this bonus knob, which, yeah, I've recorded dozens of tracks through this, and every single one of them I've loved. So
that's awesome.
I'm getting good use out of that.
Fun little studio quirk.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Big gap between the rooms too, which is nice.
Totally, yeah, and the isolation, like, we can do some tests just so you can like hear from one or the other, but obviously the dual pane is a huge hack. Same thing with the vocal booths, or, you know, dual pane, totally separate. You're not getting any kind of reverberation through it.
Are you playing lap steel now, dude?
This is more of a prop than anything else, but I told myself, and I know I'm kind of repeating myself already, but told myself I wasn't going to become country coming to Nashville. And I slowly...
What the hell is this?
I slowly let the banjo in, which is kind of a cool instrument. And the pedal steel is kind of like the next opportunity for me to lean even more into it. But you can kind of disguise it. Obviously, you can make it sound like a slide guitar, throw a bunch of reverb on it, and it can be an ambience, and that's more what I use this for. Yeah. But it is in the studio. So
I love that. Hey, what's up, dude?
Welcome to Studio B.
Good to meet you. Oh, this is sweet.
So yeah,
tube traps.
Little tube trap, yeah.
Yeah, Devin's done a great job with this space, obviously. It sounds awesome. I've been able to take a seat and listen to a handful of projects he's been working on and stuff like that, but makes great use of this space.
I'm Devin Spear, and this is my little studio abode here at Kingship, and I produce and mix and track and write. And
super talented guy, for sure.
Got the old OG artist mix. Soyuz 17.
That's right.
I love the tube trap version of the mix room. How long have you been using these?
Man, I've used these for 4 years, 5 years, somewhere in there. I moved out of a commercial space in Virginia, and a friend of mine sponsored by ASC, so he lent me like 15 of these to like set them up and try it out. And I've been in like 6 rooms now since I left the other spot, and it's pretty much a dead-on, like, other than the bass, everything from like 200 hertz up stays pretty locked in when you're like right in the sweet spot.
Nice.
Of how they're set up, so they're great, man.
Primarily mixing in here?
Mixing, yeah, tracking. I'll do like a lot of vocals in here.
Oh, cool.
You know, anything like acoustic guitar or whatever. And yeah, just mixing and writing mostly.
Appreciate it, my guy.
Yeah.
Thank you for showing us around. Devin, great to meet you. I'll put links to both of you guys down in the description if people want to check out your stuff. And we'll see you guys in the next one.